Uranus smells like rotten eggs. It is wrapped in hydrogen sulfide clouds, the same chemical compound responsible for the smell of flatulence, sewage, and rotting eggs. This is the least strange thing about Uranus. Inside it, diamonds the size of mountains are falling through the dark. Its magnetic field opens and closes like a door every 17 hours, flooding the planet with lethal radiation. It is the coldest planet in the solar system, despite not being the farthest from the Sun. Uranus is also rolling sideways around the Sun. On the outside, it might look like a majestic, perfect orb of pale blue, but do not be fooled. This is the least welcoming planet to human visitors. Every planet in the solar system has an axial tilt. Earth's is 23 degrees, Mars's is 25, Saturn's is about 27. Uranus is tilted 97.8 degrees. It does not spin, it rolls like a bowling ball around the Sun for the entirety of its 84-year orbit. The leading theory is that something hit it. Something the size of the Earth hit Uranus so hard at some point 4 billion years ago that it knocked the entire planet onto its side. And Uranus has simply remained there ever since, never recovering from the impact. The consequences of this are spectacular and deeply impractical. Uranus has seasons, but because it is lying on its side, each pole points directly at the Sun for approximately 42 years at a time. One hemisphere receives 42 years of continuous sunlight. The other receives 42 years of continuous darkness. Winter on Uranus lasts over 4 decades, sealing half the planet in unimaginable cold. There are 13 rings around Uranus, thin and dark, and largely ignored in favor of Saturn's more decorative ones. They spin vertically, like a coin rolling on a table. Every 84 years, as Uranus completes one orbit, they make a full perpendicular revolution around the Sun. Uranus is the coldest planet in the solar system, despite Neptune being further from the Sun. Its lowest recorded temperature is -224 degrees Celsius. This should not be possible. The further a planet is from its heat source, the colder it should be. Every other giant planet in the solar system radiates more heat than it receives from the Sun. They have warm interiors. They glow faintly with their own internal heat. But Uranus is not a normal planet. Something deep inside Uranus is generating energy, but that energy is not escaping. It is trapped, sealed beneath the wicked interior layers of the planet, unable to reach the surface. The most widely considered hypothesis is that the same collision that knocked Uranus sideways also disrupted its internal heat flow, essentially concussing the planet so severely that it has been suppressing its own warmth for 4 billion years. Uranus is the coldest object in the solar system because something hit it so hard, so long ago, that it has been in thermal shock ever since. On Earth, the magnetic field is tilted about 11 degrees from the planet's rotational axis. 11 degrees. A small, manageable lean. The field runs roughly pole to pole, as fields are expected to, and does its job protecting us from solar radiation without any particular drama. Uranus has a magnetic field tilted 60 degrees from its rotational axis. It is also offset from the center of the planet by 1/3 of its entire radius. The magnetic center of Uranus is not at the center. Scientists at Georgia Institute of Technology described the resulting behavior of this field as a geometric nightmare. It spins like a top that's about to topple, and it tumbles like an overweight wildebeest. Because Uranus is rolling sideways and has a tilted magnetic field, the magnetosphere, the bubble that protects the planet from solar wind, becomes unstable. Every 17 hours, once per Uranian day, it flips between open and closed. When it is closed, it deflects solar radiation. When it opens, charged particles from the Sun flood in and bombard the planet. The magnetic tail behind Uranus has been described by researchers as unlike anything else observed in the solar system. It twists, it corkscrews, it writhes through space behind the planet as Uranus rolls along. A freak of nature that the solar system has created. Inside Uranus, it is raining diamonds. 8,000 kilometers below the surface, pressures reach approximately 6 million times Earth's atmospheric pressure. At these conditions, methane, which makes up a significant fraction of Uranus's interior, breaks apart. The carbon atoms separate from the hydrogen, and under that pressure, carbon forms diamonds. Scientists at SLAC National Accelerator Laboratory confirmed this in 2017, using high-powered lasers to replicate the conditions inside the ice giants and watching the diamonds form in real time. They observed that nearly every carbon atom in the sample converted to diamond structure within 1 nanosecond. In the laboratory, the diamonds were nanometers wide. Inside Uranus, where those pressures are sustained not for a nanosecond, but for geological time, scientists predict the diamonds could grow to millions of carats in weight. They are slowly sinking through the interior, generating heat through friction as they fall, building into a thick layer of diamond sediment around the core. Uranus is the only place in the universe people wouldn't explore, even to dig for diamonds. Every piece of data we have about Uranus comes from the Voyager 2 spacecraft, which flew past Uranus for 5.5 hours on January 24, 1986. That is the total sum of humanity's close observation of the seventh planet. We flew past it at 64,000 kilometers per hour, collecting photographs and magnetic readings, which turned out to be wildly unrepresentative of normal conditions, because we happened to arrive during a solar wind event that occurs only 4% of the time. We have not been back for decades. Probing Uranus has been a stated scientific priority since 1986. But despite repeated recommendations for orbiter missions, NASA has yet to confirm funding. Uranus continues to roll sideways, unchecked. The pale blue ice giant has no famous storm, no iconic rings or celebrated moons. It is simply out there, rolling. Uranus is leaking radiation inward every 17 hours, bleeding heat in the wrong direction. Its magnetic tail corkscrewing through space behind it like something dragging a broken limb. All this while smelling like a burst sewage pipe. This is not a planet that recovered. Something hit it so hard it knocked it flat, stunned it, sealed its warmth inside like a wound that never reopened, left it spinning lopsided through the dark with diamonds forming in its guts and poison on its breath. And it just kept going. We named it Uranus. It turns out we may have been looking at the most resilient planet in the solar system. We just couldn't get past the name.